Good afternoon, I'm Denise Tan, and this is One News Now. Massive flooding has submerged towns in Northern Samar, forcing the province to declare state of calamity. Let's get an update on the situation there. Mon Gualvez is joining us over the phone. Mon, where are you, and is it still raining there?
Denise, since last night, it did not rain here in the town of Lope de Vega in Northern Samar, offering a respite to the flood-stricken province. At the moment, only occasional light rains are being felt, but it's still downcast and the skies haven't cleared up, which could mean another heavy downpour anytime. Our team was actually greeted by different landslides here in Lope de Vega. Fallen trees, electric posts, and thick mud from the mountains are everywhere. There's also a long line of vehicles stranded because of unpassable roads. And because of this, authorities launched clearing operations earlier today. Floods have also subsided. That's why residents were finally able to go back home this morning. But they were met with thick mud and others without houses to go back to, as these were inundated by the massive flooding and landslides. Some residents are actually still traumatized, especially those living at the foot of the mountain. That is why they are ready to leave once they secure a safer place to stay, even for the meantime. The town of Lope de Vega, Denise, still doesn't have water and electricity right now, and they are in need of immediate relief, such as food and clean drinking water. Denise?
Again, that was Mon Gualvez reporting. Thank you, Mon. Moving on, another House resolution has been filed to urge the government to cooperate with the International Criminal Court. The ICC is investigating the drug war of former President Rodrigo Duterte. House Resolution 1477 is now up for consideration, authored by Human Rights Panel Chairperson Benny Abante and One Rider Party List Representative Ramon Rodrigo Dutertes. It was read on first reading on Tuesday and was also referred to the House Committee on Justice during a plenary session. The resolution is the second one to be filed after HR 1393 submitted by the Makabayan Bloc on October 17. Abante's push for the measure marks the first time that a sitting majority member called on the lower chamber to support the ICC probe. Former President Rodrigo Duterte will do a political comeback if his daughter and Vice President Sara Duterte is impeached. In his SMNI program, Gikan sa Masa para sa Masa, Duterte said he is considering running for a national post. His remark is on the heels of supposed impeachment talks against the VP over confidential funds.
Alam mo, pag ginawa ninyo yan, babalik ako sa politika. Papilitan ako. It's either I run for senator or I will run for vice president. Baski matanda na ako. Kung si Inday ang mga presidente, okay lang. When I begin to talk, election na pa, just around the corner, talagang magkababoyan tayo. I do not lose anything. I'm retired.
Speaker Martin Romualdez has already denied moves to oust Ms. Duterte at the House of Representatives. For her part, the Vice President said she will rally behind her father.
Kung ano man yung mga desisyon namin ng mga anak regarding sa politika, buo din yung suporta ng pamilya sa amin. Ganun din ang suporta namin sa desisyon ni Pangulong Duterte.
A very close Duterte ally, Senator Bato de la Rosa, is also throwing his support behind the political plans of the former president. Time to take a quick break. One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Denise Tan. 7 more witnesses want to recant their statements against former Senator Laila De Lima in her last drug case. But De Lima's camp said these people have yet to submit actual affidavits. Attorney Bonnie Tacardon says they want to know first what the content of the recantations will be before making their next legal move. De Lima is now out on bail.
Gusto naming marinig yung sasabihin nila, no? Dahil may nabanggit silang coercion. So, we want to know who coerced them in testifying in giving a false statement against Senator De Lima as they claim. We prayed na ipatawag sila ng hukuman natin para marinig natin talaga kung ano yung gusto nilang i-recant.
Another transport group is staging a transport strike. This is on top of Piston's Tigil Pasada, which is on a third day today. Manibela President Mar Valbuena said their members around the country are expected to join the strike from November 22 to 24 or Wednesday to Friday. According to Valbuena, the group has around 150,000 to 200,000 members, composed of drivers and operators of passenger jeepneys, multi-cabs, and UV express vans. Manibela and Piston are protesting the PUV modernization program. Valbuena also had this to say to President Bongbong Marcos, who just came from a U.S. trip.
Yung ibang bansa nakakausap ninyo, dumadayo pa kayo. Kami po nandito lang, 3 hakbang. Nandiyan na kami sa lugar mo. Pero hindi mo po kami magawang makausap. Hindi mo magawang pakinggan yung aming mga hinaing.
We now give you a quick look at today's global headlines. The Israeli cabinet is voting soon on the proposed deal to pause fighting in Gaza Strip and make way for the release of Hamas hostages. The truce will be the first since October 7 and will also facilitate the delivery of humanitarian aid to the war-torn area. But Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said airstrikes will resume once the brief ceasefire ends. Palestine is counting on the release of 150 citizens arrested by Tel Aviv in exchange of about 50 Israeli women and children captured by Hamas. The World Health Organization is now mapping out ways to help evacuate patients from hospitals in Gaza. 3 hospitals in the war-torn Strip have already reached out to WHO for evacuation. These are Al-Shifa Indonesian Hospital and Al-Ali Hospital. All hospitals in northern Gaza have ceased functioning normally. The World Health Organization has declared loneliness as a global public health concern. According to the WHO, 1 out of 4 in the elderly population worldwide feels socially isolated. Among younger people, 1 to 3 of 20 teenagers have bouts with feelings of being alone. The WHO and other groups are now looking for interventions to arrest the growing number of people suffering from isolation. One News Now will be back at 3:15 p.m. Join us again later. I'm Denise Tan. We are One News.